Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are South.
After two very different winning ways for the Braves in Miami, tonight they wrap up a series against the Marlins and go for a sweep at Marlins Park tonight. Major League Baseball's opening week continues here at Marlins Park in Miami. As we just told you, 2 days and two very different ways to win for the Braves. But there's still some unfinished business before we open up the home portion of the schedule Friday night. Tonight, the Braves go for a 3-game season opening series sweep over the Marlins here in South Florida. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe back with you. Great start for the Braves. Two very different ways to win, but one very big constant, partner. That has been outstanding starting pitching. And tonight a treat. We get our first Braves look at newly acquired Shelby Miller.
Shelby Miller's a power guy, Chip. He's got a great arm. Certainly the key part of the trade for Jason Hayward going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Third in the Rookie of the Year voting just a couple of years ago. And last year, you're getting a look here at some spring training work. Last year, late in the season, he developed a two-seam sinker for that purpose right there against left-handers to run the ball away from him a little bit. Great numbers, number one prospect, best fastball in the Cardinal organization for 2 years running. He's only 24 years old. I can't wait to see him on the mound tonight.
We will also see a very unique and different lineup for Freddie Gonzalez. Jace Peterson's going to lead off. Andrelton Simmons is going to bat second. Johnny Gomes is in the lineup. And A.J. Brzezinski, who caught Shelby Miller a time or two with the Cardinals, is also in the lineup.
Ought to make Shelby very comfortable tonight here at Marlins Park.
Well, let's see if the Braves can make it 3 straight over the Marlins. Veterans are in the lineup. Johnny Gomes, A.J. Brzezinski, Jen Hildreth will catch up with them when we come back to Miami in a moment.
are: 1, I love to do anything outside, hunt, fish, golf, tennis, whatever it is. 2, I have a no-nose dog named Bubba. And 3, my kids and I have a huge Lego collection.
How does a dog not have a nose? Maybe we'll get a chance to meet Bubba soon. Who knows? Either way, tonight you will get a chance to officially meet A.J. Pierzynski as he makes his Atlanta Braves debut. Hey guys, I'm Jen Hildreth. Series finale coming up tonight from Miami. And in this new look Braves team, which is a good mix of young and old, a couple of the old, if you will, making their first starts tonight in Pierzynski and Johnny Gomes. These two have a combined 30 years of Major League experience. They both have World Series rings. And in talking to Johnny Gomes, he told me he knows that imparting that knowledge is part of the reason that he's here.
You know, if I set a, career high in at-bats, what does that mean if we don't win? If I set a career low in at-bats, what does that mean if we don't win? So, like I said, my statistic column isn't really the thumbprint that I try and have on this club. So with that being said, I'm just ready when my number's called.
What thumbprint will he make? Maybe we'll get a chance to see it in action tonight. Johnny Gomes, Shelby Miller, a couple of new Braves making their way to Marlins Park.
Atlanta tries to sweep them on their home turf. Here's how the Braves line up. Freddy's starting nine presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Different look partner. Peterson Simmons now in front of Markakis and Freeman. A.J. Pierzynski and Johnny Gomes get their first starts. Callaspo in again at third base with Cameron Maybin also debuting in a starting role. He'll hit eighth. And, of course, Shelby Miller will pitch and bat ninth.
And on the mound for the Fighting Fish tonight is Tom Kohler. Out of New Rochelle, New York, 28 years old, 6'3", 235. He's in his third year in the big leagues, a former 18th round draft pick. Last year against the Braves, 4 starts, an excellent ERA as he has had in his career at 3.15, but basically gets no runs of support every time he pitches against Atlanta.
Only one change for Miami defensively for tonight's ballgame, and that's behind the plate. Jeff Mathis will get the start for Jared Saltalamacchia. Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton. A terrifically talented Miami outfield. Prado, Echeverria, D. Gordon, and Michael Morse rings the infield behind Tom Kohler. So we'll see how Jace Peterson fares batting first for the Braves. He had a good series hitting second. Scored a couple runs and has a hit. And a quick strike, says Chris Guccione, and we're underway.
Good curveball. Got a good fastball that he likes to move around. He struck out 153 in 191 innings last year.
That strikeout total, believe it or not, was the top strikeout total on the Marlins team. It was not Jose Fernandez, who was hurt, but Tom Kohler was their strikeout champion. And he's ahead of Jay Sear, a ball and 2 strikes. And he got his man with an off-speed pitch. 1 up, 1 down.
That was a beauty. We're told this guy pitches with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He was an 18th round pick. Everybody told him he would get drafted a lot higher than that out of State University of New York at Stony Brook. 18th round pick. Other guys kept getting moved up the chain in the minor leagues ahead of him. He was having great years. So when he finally got here, it was almost like, let me show you what I can do and what you've been missing out on.
And were it not for shameful lack of run support like Alex Wood for the Braves, he'd be a lot better than 10-10 last year. And Andrelton Simmons, fresh off a 3-hit game and 2 RBIs. That's here in the top of the first for the Braves. Off-speed stuff is crackling. That's a good sign for the Marlins. This man did not have a particularly good spring.
No, he didn't. 18 innings, 27 hits, 15 runs allowed.
Swinging bunt, and that is a foul ball. Mathis was hoping it would spin back into fair territory, but it died in the dirt.
Funny, I think Andrelton's asking Chris Guccione, could I have kicked that foul? Which he could have, because it was in foul territory. If it's in fair territory, he's out. Kohler in the minor leagues, 54 wins, 33 losses, 3.71 ERA. Kept having to prove himself over and over at every level.
Sharply hit. Prado gives ground and gets his man easily. 2 up and 2 men down. That'll bring up Nick Markakis. His first 2 games have gone according to plan. Nick has knocked in 3 runs with 3 hits.
These veterans, Chip, just talking to other guys in the clubhouse, they have really turned this into a tight-knit group. They're all very close.
My sense is, of the 3 veterans, Markakis, Pierzynski, and Gomes, that Nick is the less vocal of the 3.
I would say that's very accurate. But when it does come out, it comes out hot.
Yes. A ball and a strike. Couple out, nobody on in the first. And a good cut by Markakis. A ball and 2 strikes. Kohler's got better stuff than Matt Latos for Miami. Matt was pounded badly in the first inning. It's the second Marlin to give up 7 runs without getting out of the first inning in the history of the franchise. That also happened to Ryan Dempster. Latos said he was frankly embarrassed by the performance. His Marlin debut did not go well at all. He's touched him for 7 first inning runs and won the game 12-2. That is a concern for this Marlins club. Do they have enough starting pitching until Fernandez comes back later in the summer?
The residual of that start, the analysis of it, seemed to lean toward him not being in shape, Latos. That he favored his knee and his elbow all spring, didn't get the work in that he needed. And there were some guys with the Braves that thought that he looked heavy.
Ground ball towards second. Yeah, Latos had trouble touching 90 miles an hour, and that's not like him. Good start for Tom Kohler. 3 up, 3 down. Shelby Miller makes his season debut when we come back. Same success against this Marlins starting 9, brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Gordon, Yelich, Stanton, and Morse, the fearsome foursome at the top of the order. Then Prado, Marcelo Ozuna, Echeverria, the shortstop. Jeff Mathis gets the start, hitting 8. Kohler 9th, and looking forward to seeing Shelby pitch tonight.
Shelby was 10-9 last year for the Cardinals, 3.74 ERA, but it was his second half that caught everybody's attention. 3-1 with a 292 and barely a 200 batting average against, because of that two-seamer that he developed and started using a sinker at times to complement his mid-90s fastball. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Well, you know he's going to be really excited pitching for a new team, so that early ampage, he's going to have to keep that under control a little bit in the early going. And Stanton payback. There is a Giancarlo Stanton factor here we'll talk about as we get going here in the first inning.
While the Marlins had trouble keeping Eric Young Jr. off the bases, key to Miller's game tonight has to be controlling D. Gordon. Gordon's got a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs in the series. At a .355 lifetime average against Atlanta pitching. He's been a pest. And he was late on that fastball. Shelby's got a good one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's 93 to 95 without a whole lot of effort. Out of Brownwood, Texas. Born there, still lives there. Number 1 pick, the 19th pick overall in the draft in 2009.
Fouled off the fish tank. Two of those behind home plate. One by the Marlins on deck circle, one by the Braves on deck circle. Just to the left and right of your screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bouncer toward Freeman. He's going to have to hurry to the bag, and he just did beat D. Gordon. Maybe there was that first sinker of the night to get a ground ball out. Gordon's retired. Here's Christian Yelich. I was asking A.J. Przinsky about the sinker that Shelby is featuring now. Remember, A.J. Przinsky came over from the Red Sox and joined the Cardinals when Yadier Molina got hurt. And A.J. caught 6 of his starts, he said, last year. And he didn't really feature the sinker much at all until a start before the Phillies. And he was throwing it in the bullpen. He came out of that bullpen assignment, before the game and said, I'm going to throw sinkers. And he had a great game and has been throwing it ever since. And Brzezinski has said it's really helped him.
Oh, it's a great weapon for him because it gives him another pitch to use against lefties. There was a breaking ball, and attempted a backdoor breaking ball, but if you can still throw the fastball and make it move away, that's great. He's got that. That four-seamer with some flames on it.
Last pitch at 95 miles an hour. Now the 1-2. Ooh, just missed. Giancarlo Stanton waits next. Braves have held him down in this series, but he's hitting Miller hard. I'll tell you how after this at bat. Ricocheted off AJ's chest protector. Yelich still alive.
Probably the first time in AJ's career that's happened.
Right. He's gone full to Yelich.
Got under that two-seamer a little bit. That wiggle with Brzezinski's finger was for the two-seamer, the sinker, but he got under it.
Fly ball foul and into the seats. Marlins fans disappointed with their team's 0-2 start. Miscues cost him a chance to win game one. They were blown out before they had a chance to bat last night. So not a lot for them to cheer about in the first two. Yelich still alive. That's what makes this guy so tough.
Yeah, he's making Shelby work here. Doesn't want to run the risk of walking him in front of Stanton, but he might have to go back to that two-seamer here after he's fouled off. He's been late on him, but fouled off the 94 and 95.
Line to short, and Simmons has it. Sharply hit, 2 out, and here's the Miller-Stanton matchup from a year ago.
Took him deep twice. This one into the Marlins bullpen. That was something, but check out this one. Hanging breaking ball up on the concourse. That's a long way, folks. That's to the right of the 427 mark. You see they're estimated at 470.
So 2 of Stanton's 37 homers came in one game against Shelby Miller and the Cardinals last year. Braves have saved some of their best pitches for Stanton and Morse in this series. That duo's combined 2 for 13 with 7 strikeouts.
Well, Shelby saved his best fastball for Stanton right there. That was 96.
He struck him out with more 96-mile-an-hour gas. Shelby Miller with a 1-2-3 first, and our duel is underway. We head to the second, no score.
hitting the jackpot. Well, it wasn't a winning ticket very often for Freddie Freeman against the Fish last season, especially the way he started. But look at those last 7 games. That includes the 2 in this series. Freddie finding his groove at the plate.
We hit those doubles hard last night too, Jen.
That ball's hit hard, but right at D. Gordon at second. And 4 in a row for Kohler to start his night. And here comes A.J. Brzezinski.
That strikeout of Stanton was where the Braves tend to go when they get ahead of him in the count, is elevate a fastball and get him to chase. That was great execution by Shelby Miller.
A.J. Brzezinski, 1,867 big league hits.
A.J. had a good spring too.
Could have been better if he didn't run into Joe West one time down at Disney.
Might have got another at bat or two. Like there's a lot of players saying that right now these days about Joe West. I like watching AJ catch. He's very much in the proverbial rocking chair back there, very calm, good influence on the pitcher, keeps them focused.
Something I didn't know about him that we talked about this spring. It's something that's overlooked. First all-time fielding percentage among big league catchers in history, with a minimum of 1,000 games. So an excellent defender as well as a terrific hitter, approaching 2,000 big league knocks.
Yeah, that's impressive.
High in the air toward Yelich and left. And he'll have plenty of room in front of the Clevelander for the second out. And that'll bring up Johnny Gomes.
I was talking to Johnny before he left to go to the ballpark this morning, and I said, I know you live in the Phoenix area now, but where did you grow up? And he said Sonoma, Napa Valley area, California.
Really?
Yeah. Which I did not know. But that was a great place to grow up, and he said it was wonderful.
Yeah, tough duty, huh?
Yeah.
Outside a ball and a strike. Johnny's been around the block, as you know. The Devil Rays, the Reds, the Nationals.
You know, Chip, the Braves in the past have had a, right or wrong, a label of kind of being too businesslike. You know, they go about their business in a very methodical way. And some of the leaders of the ball club that are no longer with the team, they had fires burning, but you just didn't see it too often. That's not the case with this club.
No.
These guys are vocal, and they have rallied the troops.
We talked about it before we got going deep into game one. That's exactly what happened in the pregame speech. Some of the veterans were very vocal. These were the new guys that stepped up and said, hey, we don't need to worry about what anybody else outside this room, and paraphrasing, thinks about our club. It's what we think about our club.
Yeah, and just because Craig Kimball got traded doesn't mean anybody's going to feel sorry for us. They're not.
Gomes has worked a full count. And hit one right off the end of the bat, but it'll roll foul at first. I've broken the bat, too. Johnny will check it out as he makes his way back to the batter's box. Couple of big arms dueling in game three. Shelby Miller for the Braves, Tom Kohler for the Marlins. Deep short and off the glove of Echeverria. That's going to trickle down the left field line, and Gomes will hold on at first. Big turn, but Yelich hustled over quickly. Johnny Gomes has a 2-out hit, and it'll bring up Alberto Callaspo.
We've seen Prado make a really good play in this series already to his left. We've seen Echeverria go in the hole and make a great play on Chris Johnson last night. This time it looked like it might have hit off both their gloves. It may have caused Echeverria to flinch a little bit when it glanced off of Martine's glove.
So let's see what the Braves can do with a 2-out opportunity now. Callaspo bats. Alberto with a couple of hits. Even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Home opener Friday night. The Mets will be in town. Pre-game ceremony honoring the 50th season of Braves baseball in Atlanta. You'll be in your seats by 6:45 for the ceremony. Parking will be tight. Lots are by permit only. Public transportation is strongly advised, as Eric Stoltz and Jonathan Neese will hook up at Turner Field. Base hit to left by Callaspo. He serves it nicely. Back-to-back 2-out safeties for the Braves, and Cameron Maybin will stride to the plate.
Callaspo makes it look easy, doesn't he? Your description is accurate. Just served it over there.
So former Marlin Cameron Maybin gets a start. 2 RBIs came last night. Boy, wild game here in Miami. The Braves batted around twice in the first inning and again in the 9th. They tagged 4 runs to Steve Cishek, the Marlins closer, who also said he didn't have very good stuff.
It'll take him a while to get his ERA whittled down an inning at a time. After that.
I think it's safe to say with Cameron, he's kind of a what-if player. And the what-if is, what if he'd stayed healthy? All kinds of injuries in his big league career. Says he's healthy and ready to go after a good spring with the Padres. And he shoots one to short, and that was a laser beam. I'm not sure if Echeverria caught it or it caught him. But a line out ends the second, and the Braves settle for a couple of singles and leave 2 on base. Cameron Maben can really go get him in center field. He'll be a lot of fun to watch. Gomes and Markakis in the outfield corners. Callaspo starts at third. Pierzynski behind the plate. Simmons, Peterson, and Freddie Freeman short, second, and first, respectively. 4, 5, and 6 for the Fish here in the second inning. Morse, Prado, and Marcell Ozuna. Like Giancarlo Stanton, Michael Morse has had trouble making contact in this series. He's 1 for 8, and the Braves have struck him out 5 times. Up the middle, Simmons gives ground and can't get there. Leadoff single for Morse.
He was able to catch up to a 95 fastball. Target was in, pitch was not. It was started in the outer third, came back to the middle of the plate. Shelby looks great. Boy, his fastball is flying out of his hand.
Martin Prado, the batter, 2 for 7 is he in the series. In the air toward Markakis and right. He'll backpedal and make the play. Prado's out on 1 pitch for Marcell Ozuna. Miller was committed to Texas A&M. He was going to go play college ball until, as Joe mentioned, the Cardinals picked him with their #1 choice in 2009. Something we hope comes into play. He pitches his best ball when the games mean the most. He's undefeated in September in his major league career as a pitcher.
That's a pretty good sign. I believe Brownwood is down in the Houston area. I think if you're a young boy and you're born in Texas, you have 2 choices. You either play quarterback or you throw 95. Those are your 2 options.
I think he had both of them covered, didn't he?
He might have.
To center. And Maben has that one measured up. Ozuna hit it hard, but he's the second out. Brownwood, Texas. Population 19,288. It's right smack dab in the middle of the state.
Is it?
I mean,
oh yeah, that's more in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, not Houston.
Danny Echeverria looks for his first hit of the series. He's made his presence known with a couple of outstanding defensive plays for the Marlins at shortstop.
There you go. Start dropping that hook in on the right-handers, locking them up when you've got to sit on the fastball. Great combination.
High and tight.
It's the second time he's kind of gotten under that 2-seamer, where he's pushed it a little bit and pushed it up out of the zone.
to second. Should be easy, and is for Jace Peterson. Shelby Miller gives up a leadoff hit, nothing else. He's a good hitting pitcher. He'll lead off the third for Atlanta. Still no score.
And Delta Airlines.
This is one of the great cities of the world. International city, Miami, Florida. That's the Oasis Cafe. That makes us hungry just looking at that video. Open sugar cane for you, make you a Cuban coffee, get a Cuban sandwich, some empanadas. You are ready to go.
Looks good.
And Shelby Miller starts things off and takes down in 1 ball, no strikes. And I mentioned Miller is a good hitter. He led the league in sacrifice bunts last year. Can handle the bat. In a tight game like this, that might prove to be an important stat to keep in mind.
And 7th among pitchers in the National League in hitting at 188.
And looky here, he's worked a 3-0 count. And on 4 straight, Shelby Miller has walked. That usually leads to good tidings for the offense. The thing I noticed about Kohler, he works so fast, I wonder if he works too quickly.
He did there. He was in such a hurry just to throw a strike to Shelby that he couldn't.
So now he's in immediate trouble with Jace Peterson up. Jace struck out on a breaking ball his first time up. And he got one there, but off the plate, 1-0.
What we were told about Kohler that I think is a real compliment to him is that he's the same guy every 5 days. He doesn't have a lot of highs or a lot of lows. Very consistent. You can depend on him to be around the plate, those strikes. That's a nice luxury when you know that guy's going to go out there every 5 days and give you a chance to win.
Kohler 10-10 last season, a 3.81 ERA, made 32 starts with almost no run support. Well hit toward left center field. Can anybody catch it? Yelich on the run, got there in the nick of time.
Wow, I wasn't even looking at Yelich. I was watching Ozuna because the ball was slicing away from him, and I could tell from up here that Ozuna wasn't going to get to it. And then enter Mr. Yelich.
Gold Glover Christian Yelich, just 1 error last season. And a good running catch took away a hit for Jace. And now Anderson Simmons hits with Miller at first, 1 out now.
got Anderson to chase that off-speed pitch in the first inning.
Back to the mound. Kohler throws wild to second, but somehow, someway, D. Gordon was able to snare it and turn the double play. That was close. No luck for Atlanta in the scoreless third. Versus trivia question. Over the last 10 years, Shelby Miller is one of 2 National League pitchers to win 15 games or more in their rookie season. Who's the other? Only 2 rookies have won 15 games.
So back to 04 to 14. National League.
So we'll have a chance to actually think about the trivia question before we get it right tonight.
10 months ago.
That's a good guess. Kohler and Miller, nothing through 2.5. Mathis, Kohler, and Gordon coming up for the Marlins. First pitch swing and pop straight behind the plate. No play for A.J. Brzezinski. Lots of bad weather in the Midwest. Pirates and Reds are in a rain delay.
Yeah, my family in Oklahoma. We're battening down the hatches there too.
Same story, I think, Washington and the Mets. Cubs finally got to play today. They beat the Cardinals 2-0 at Wrigley Field. Jake Arrieta pitched a beauty for the Cubs. Boston and the Phillies scoreless in the third inning at Citizens Bank. Out of play foul on a 96-mile-an-hour heater. Well, he has that mid-90s velocity and there's no drop-off. That's impressive too.
No, it's kind of nice when you can, I guess, raise your level just a little bit if you need to try to get one by somebody, as he did to Stanton.
And he just got one by Mathis up and out of the zone at 94 miles an hour. Miller's got his second strikeout. The Braves Steal of the Week is back for the 2015 season. It's available tonight only. And in honor of Hank Aaron's 715th homer on this date in 1974, get field reserve seats for the series against the Marlins for just $19. That's a savings of 44%. Go to Braves.com/steal to reserve your seats now. That's right, April 8th, 1974. Record that some in baseball thought would never be broken was at Fulton County Stadium. As Kohler a little late, no balls, 2 strikes.
41 years ago, hard to believe.
Downing pitched it. Tom House caught it in the Braves bullpen on the left field fence. And Kohler tips that one into Brzezinski's glove. Back-to-back strikeouts. Of course, everyone in Braves country has heard Milo Hamilton's iconic call of Hank Aaron's home run. Dave O'Brien of the AJC was on social media today, and he found a clip of Vin Scully's call. I believe Vin Scully was doing the Dodgers broadcast that day. If you have a chance to go and listen to that call as well, remarkable.
Yeah, I think any Dodger game dating back to 1865, somewhere in that area, you've got a good shot of hearing Vin's call on it.
Pretty good chance, right? The story of the broadcast was Henry Aaron hit the home run. Vin Scully took his headphones off, went to the back of the booth, got himself a cup of coffee, put the cream and sugar in, stirred, took a sip, let it cool off, and then sat back down and just let the crowd in Atlanta embrace baseball's home run champion, Henry Aaron. One and two for D. Gordon.
Gordon was able to catch up after several pitches, his first at bat, and pull the ball to Freddie Freeman. So he's seen a couple of breaking balls here to kind of break it up.
Slapped into the seats, out of play again. D's playing in his home state. He's from Windermere, Florida. That's on the southwest side of Orlando. His dad, of course, was Tom Flash Gordon, great major league relief pitcher for a long time.
Mixing those pitches up for Gordon. Breaking ball, you take your chances with him if he does get a good breaking ball to hit. He's not going to hit it over anybody's head. And then a little harder for him then to catch up to the fastball. He barely got a piece of that one.
Little tapper. Peterson's got to hurry. Tough play, and he can't make it. Even if he comes up cleanly, I don't think he gets D. Gordon.
Yeah, I don't think he does either. And he knew that, and that's one of the reasons he was trying to hurry right there by the bag. Fastball away. Might not have even been a strike.
So with Gordon aboard, as you know, he's always a threat to run with 64 stolen bases last year. Tried to steal a base in this series, and Christian Bethancourt gunned him down.
And we'll get a chance to check out Brzezinski's arm here probably.
We've talked about it a lot. I think it's great that the running game's coming back into vogue in baseball again. Take a chance to really wreak havoc got a good lead here. And now time is called. Let's talk about the speed of D. Gordon. That's our Coors Light cold hard fact tonight.
The whole team had 58 last year. He had 64 by himself. So yes, that's an upgrade.
He was leaning. Miller chased it back. Missed corner. 1 ball, no strikes.
We saw it happen in game 1 for the Marlins when the starting pitcher was trying to hold a runner and balk. Cost him a run in the first inning when Jace Peterson was on base. And the inclination is after you've thrown over a couple of times is then when you're going to the plate to then rush. So Shelby was good to come set. He's worked himself into a hitter's count here, just trying to make a good pitch away to Yelich and missing just in case Gordon's running.
Yelich sprays 1 foul on a 2-0 count. Nice battle back to even it up.
Well located there, right in on his thumbs.
Runner goes, pitch low. Brzezinski's throw, short hops and hits Gordon in the back. D. Gordon not only stole the base, he knocked it off the standard.
Picked a good pitch to run on too. Good crossover step. It was a breaking ball. And a little bit of a tough pitch to throw on for Brzezinski. His throw was off the mark, as you saw.
Tell you what, he's lucky he didn't turn an ankle on that play.
Just keep running. If you're holding onto the base, you can run anywhere you want.
He didn't think of that. Might be a good plan. 3-2, fouled away. Yelich. He got another pitch. He had a long at bat for lining out to make the second out of the first inning.
Yeah, that one wasn't fair right there. He made another good pitch with the breaking ball, 3-2, and he still got a piece of it. This guy is so tough. And just a baby.
Off Miller's foot. And all hands are safe.
I think that scores a run. I think it gets through the middle and gets D. Gordon in. We're going to make sure that Shelby's okay. Or are they? Got Porter up on the edge of the dugout. On the back of the right leg. No question. That would have gotten through. Would have been 1-0 Fish. Back-to-back
infield hits after 2 strikeouts to start the inning. Now Giancarlo Stanton with a chance for damage. He struck out his first time up. He is late.
Good spot. Good spot. Missed inside, but got his attention. Keep him from leaning out over the plate. Had to work awfully hard thanks to Gordon and Yelich fouling off so many pitches.
Now he's got Stanton behind in the count. Let's see if Braves go where they've gone all series long, right across the letters.
And we saw what he did with a hanging breaking ball last year off Shelby Miller. If you do decide to throw him a breaking ball, just nowhere near the plate.
But you got to block it with a fast man at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They tried that, Chip. They tried to go upstairs again, and AJ wasn't sure if he caught that ball.
Missed high and now runs it full to Stanton with 2 outs.
Well, it's obvious that's what he's trying to do. He's just let it get away from him too far upstairs. Again, kind of got under that fastball, not on top of it, even though he's still trying to go letter high. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go up there again, try to get a swing and a miss.
Yelich will be running from first. There he goes. And Stanton takes high and tight. So Giancarlo Stanton walks again. That's 4 walks in the series. Miller missed badly with 3 consecutive pitched balls, and now they're loaded for Morse.
Might be a good. Well, here comes Roger McDowell. I was going to say a good time for Brzezinski to go out and give him a breather, but the pitching coach is doing that with him. Guy works hard. He throws hard. A lot of effort. In terms of how many pitches he's had to throw this inning, just a chance here to regroup. 2 outs quickly with the 2 strikeouts, and then a lot of foul tips, a lot of scratching and clawing by Gordon and Yelich led to this.
Miami does not yet have a hit with the bases loaded. 0 for 3 in this series. Miller hopes to retire Mike Morse.
After the walk, Morse will be sitting dead red on that fastball.
And he took one right down the middle.
Yeah, and it was a little off the other fastballs. That was 93.
That was the 32nd pitch of the inning.
Some more encouragement from A.J. Brzezinski was trying to, I think, redirect him to the plate. Maybe he's fallen off a little bit. That's causing him, like those 2 pitches to Giancarlo, missing high with them.
Sharply hit. Simmons has it. The flip to second in time. And Miller survives a 33-pitch 3rd inning. Miami cannot break through with the bases loaded. Atlanta tries to score first when we go to inning number 4. Nick Markakis, Freddie Freeman, and A.J. Brzezinski.
To the 4th, due up for the Braves, Nick Markakis and Freddie Freeman. And with all of this talk of the new veterans coming into this team and the young guys, well, what about a guy like Freddie Freeman? This is someone who, though he's only 25 years old, he is, as he told me the other day, the longest tenured guy on this roster in terms of playing time here in Atlanta. And he said, I know guys are looking to me, and I understand my role has to change a little bit, but it was something that you can't force. You have to grow into it. And he has said, and he talked about it in spring training, Chip, that he is embracing that role a little bit more of a leader.
That's a good point, Jen.
Well, what happens, Jen, is that especially with so many young guys on this team now, they're going to migrate to him. He's been here the longest, so they're going to start going to him when they've got questions, whether he likes it or not. And I think since he's been here as long as he has, he's beginning to get more comfortable with answering those questions, helping guys out.
Markakis with a 1-1 count. That's fouled away. I imagine it's hard to lead as a young player. Imagine it's even harder for a guy like Markakis and Gomes, who aren't familiar with the organization, to come in and have that mantle thrust upon them too. That's not an easy situation for veteran players either. Know the culture or what needs to be changed. Yeah, those guys, along with Brzezinski and Jason Grilli, I think have done an excellent job of doing so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it kind of goes to, having a new hitting coach like Kevin Seitzer. You don't want to come in and just start barking out orders and changing everybody because you're the new hitting coach. You've got to kind of make some observations and watch guys. And the same for the veteran players is you don't want to come in and be obnoxious and we got to do things this way or that way. You've got to slowly work your way into it.
Full count for Nick. Bases empty. He sprays one out of play. Well, it goes without saying, and we've talked about it a lot. We talked about it last year too. You lose a Chipper Jones, a John Smoltz, Brian McCann, a Tim Hudson, a Bobby Cox. Those personalities are irreplaceable. But we are entering a new era of Braves baseball. 50th anniversary season in Atlanta. Like it or not, Freddie Freeman is the young face, or one of the young faces of the franchise. does seem, as Jim was talking about, a little more comfortable with that role this year.
Well, we like him being that guy. I mean, we like him being the face of the franchise. It's just a matter of whether he's ready to accept it. The good thing for him is that there are these veterans who can take some of that weight off of him to be the only guy.
Markakis earns a leadoff walk.
Great at bat.
Second one of those in as many innings for Tom Kohler.
It's kind of turnabout fair play there with the way he treated Kohler, making him work.
That's a good point. After Shelby Miller threw 33 pitches, the Braves would like to have a nice long inning and get him rested up before he goes back out.
Freddie went after the first pitch, first at bat, hit the ball hard. This is a time where the swing adjustments he tried to make when he pulls the ball.
In the air toward right. Stanton on the run. Diving catch by Stanton. Markakis has to re-tag, and he's going to be doubled up. What a play by Stanton for the double play.
Not only did he make a fabulous catch, he made a tremendous one-hop throw from deep right center. An accurate one to Morse at first. Freddie ripped this. Lays out for it. And watch him get up and let it rip. Or we can watch Kohler.
If he doesn't get it, Markakis scores and the Braves are in business. So a remarkable double play brings up A.J. Pierzynski.
You won't see a better play that turns into a double play like that. All too often it takes a guy a little while to regroup after making a catch like that.
Another walk. Pierzynski a 4-pitch free pass, and here's Gomes. One.
Marlins fans haven't had a whole lot to yell about, cheer about. First two nights. Stanton usually does it with a home run. He made a great play there to do it. Get them on their feet.
.59 pitches for Kohler, 30 strikes.
That one just missed. Good hitter's count for Johnny.
AJ will be off to the races with a full count and 2 outs. goes. And a breaking ball gets Johnny Gomes. Couple of walks. But a great catch and throw by Giancarlo Stanton robs Freddie Freeman of a base hit, an RBI, and a Braves lead. Glove in his arm. You'll see what we're talking about on the Toyota key play of the game.
He had to have a little help from Ozuna, who probably was telling him first, knowing they had a shot at Nick Markakis. A one-hop laser after the diving catch.
That took away a hit, took away a run, took away a chance for the lead. Now Miller's got to go back out there and shut him down in the fourth, with Martin Prado leading it off. 33 pitches for Shelby last inning. Let's hope he's sufficiently rested and has an easier time here with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up. In the air to center, and that'll get in front of Maben for a hit. Second leadoff man of the night aboard for the Marlins. Prado at first with his third hit of the series.
Love the first pitch, get over curveball. Ozuna had a little trouble with Tehran the opening night on some sliders, and even last night with Alex Wood with respect to some off-speed pitches, some breaking balls, because he wants the fastball.
Now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bad pitch. I'm surprised he laid off. But he'll unbutton his shirt here, 3-1, anticipating the fastball.
Got one, and a laser to Simmons. I mean, that was a check your webbing shot. Whew. There have been some line drives smoked at the infielders in this game.
How long did that ball take from bat to glove? Microsecond. Just an out.
And the first of the inning. Echeverria bats. He grounded out to Peterson to end Miami's second inning. Little dribbler. Only one play. It'll be to first. And Miller makes it. Prado to second. Mathis, the catcher, is due next. Third season for Mathis with the Marlins. Broke in with the Angels. Played in Toronto as well in 2012. He too was part of that gigantic deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. There's another Florida native born in Marianna, Florida.
Got the pitcher on deck. Mathis has a couple of hits in his career against Shelby Miller, so they're not going to mess around. They're going to put him on and go after Kohler.
Who struck out in Marlins' third. So Shelby starts over. And Kohler will try to help himself. .50 at bats last year. Kohler had 3 hits and struck out 27 times.
And I'd like to see Dome shorten up a little bit in left field for him too. Prado's at second base. He'll be off at the crack of the bat on 2-out contact, and if it happens to beat a left field and shallow, then you want Johnny to have a chance to throw him out.
Pretty good cut.
He had a good cut at a just get over fastball at 92. Want to be too fancy here. Just give him your best stuff. It seems the Braves have got him right where they want him when the Marlins load the bases up, but I don't think you want to live that way forever.
No. He's 0 for 4. Bases loaded in the series. They've got 2 on, 2 out here. A scoreless game. He's got Kohler back even now at 2-2.
Had a good swing again.
Sharply hit. Peterson dives, flips to Simmons in time to end the inning. That ball was sharply hit. Nifty work up the middle by Jace Peterson to keep the game tied.
Then, and I had a very choice seat. I was right down on the third base line.
Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here.
That was one of the most euphoric memories of my life was when Hank finally hit 715.
There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron. Where were you?
Was in Vero Beach at the end of minor league training camp and watching the game from Dodger Town. Of course, it was against LA, and even though I was in the Dodger organization, it was a thrilling moment.
Crowd was crazy. I was watching it on television in Atlanta. Couldn't get a ticket. I wasn't one of the people who say, hey, yeah, I was there that night. No. Yeah. Kid watching it on TV. And as a professional player at that time, was that one of the records that even when you saw Henry Aaron getting closer and closer, did the magnitude of that record just hit you when he finally broke it? Like, he just passed Babe Ruth.
Passed Babe Ruth. And I certainly didn't know, and I doubt that too many of us knew what kind of pressure Hank was under, you know, leading up to that, and all the threats and everything that went with it.
Alberto Callaspo starts the Braves fifth.
Something else. There's another video from like high third base showing the people mobbing home plate. One of the guys out there right away in his trench coat was Craig Sager. He's our pal at TNT, and I understand Craig's got that battle back on his hands again with leukemia, and we want to wish him nothing but the best.
You bet. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Callaspo. And breaking ball just missed the outside corner. Bowlers had a lot of deep counts tonight. Well, Henry Aaron will be at the ballpark on Friday night with so many other Braves greats. As that one is served toward third and down the line past Prado. He can't believe it. Callaspo's going to try. Here comes Yelich's throw, and it's going to be in plenty of time.
Good idea, but he had one slight hesitation about a third of the way to second. Nothing but pats from his teammates for trying.
So Cameron Maben bats. He had a screaming line drive in the second inning that was caught. Had it not been, the Braves would have scored in inning number 2. And a good cut there.
Well, with this outfield for the Marlins, if you are thinking about taking an extra base, don't hesitate, because their arms are too good.
And that's another facet of the Braves style of play they are going to emphasize. They are going to try to be aggressive. They are going to try, as you said last night, force the issue and force their opponents to make a couple of plays to nail them on the base paths. That time, Yelich did. Maben with a big swing and a miss is out number 2.
Here's Alberto watching the ball get by third, and then he rounds first, and right there his head came up just a little bit like he wasn't sure, and then decided to keep going. I don't know if that would have made a difference, but it was a close play as it was.
Miller now with 2 outs. Tries to keep the 5th alive for the Braves. Miami will have the top of its order up when Shelby goes back to the mound. Let's not forget another big Braves milestone on this date as well. 1994, Kent Mercker threw his no-hitter against the Dodgers. His first career complete game as Kohler and Miller are pitching beautifully through 4.5. 4 strikeouts for the Marlins right-hander. Shelby Miller versus D. Gordon after this.
And Toyota.
That is the bat Henry Aaron used to hit that ball over the fence for historic home run number 715. It's in the Braves Hall of Fame and Museum.
Here's our pal, Craig Sager. No, he doesn't have any plaid on his trench coat, but he was right there to try to get a word with Hank as he crossed home plate and over into foul territory. And here's Mr. B, Bill Bartholomew, in the picture as well.
In his spare time, Craig was the 5th Beatle.
Was he?
Craig, hope you're doing great. And can't wait to see you again at the ballpark. As D. Gordon leads off, key man in this game, no score. Let him reach. He's in scoring position. Don't want that to happen. Infield hitting a steal before being stranded back in the 3rd. And fouled at the plate. Had a low-scoring day in the big leagues. Boston and the Phillies, 0-0 in the 6th. No score here. Braves trying to sweep the Marlins. Last time Atlanta started 3-0 was 2007. And to the screen and out of play. Marlins and Dodgers made a big deal right before Christmas. D. Gordon and Dan Herron for Andrew Haney, Chris Hatcher, Enrique Hernandez, and Austin Barnes.
Using Chris Hatcher a lot at the end of the games already.
And they need to with Kenley Jansen sideline. They don't know when he's going to be back. Ball, 2 strikes. Gordon fighting hard. They've done that all night. Yep.
Umpires had to go get new baseballs twice. Restock.
Two. Ground ball to second. Jace gets his man. Good way to start the inning. 1 man down. Mentioned that Red Sox-Phillies game. Aaron Harang is starting tonight for the Phillies. Aaron, one of the game's really good guys. What a job he did for Atlanta last season.
Especially at the very beginning. He did not have a particularly good spring with the Phillies, but they don't have much depth in their pitching staff right now with Cliff Lee still on the shelf with his bad elbow. I think they'll trade Cole Hamels at some point.
A lot of folks thought they were going to trade him to the Red Sox. He gave up 4 home runs to Boston in the opener. And that's, I think, a fascinating case study of 2 divergent paths for the Braves and the Phillies franchises. The Braves traded away a lot of their veteran players. The Phillies held on to them. And some around baseball think they've held on to them too long. 1 strike. Yelich missed one up in the zone there. 1-2.
Breaking ball though, he was fooled. That 2-seamer to Yelich just before that is kind of where he's been tonight with it. It starts a little too far off the plate in the beginning and then breaks and sinks off the plate. So either they don't offer, or if it's almost like if I move it just a little bit toward the corner, then they're fouling it off and beating it in the ground just like Yelich did there. So he's getting the movement, he's just not getting the good results tonight that he'd probably like, at least with that pitch.
AJ couldn't hang on. Here we go again.
No, look at that. That pitch, I think, was a good 3 or 4 inches off the plate. And Yelich still got a piece of it. I mean, that's almost on the inside stripe of the right-handed batter's box, and he reached it with those long arms to spoil it.
This guy win a batting title, you think?
Yes. Without any hesitation. He uses all the field and hits the ball with authority. And he's working hard on his bunting, too.
We're better to help him with that than his third base coach, Brett Butler. 1-2 count again. And that one almost picked off Giancarlo Stanton.
Well, that's kind of the sequence he used on Gordon. Gordon kept foul tipping a lot of balls off that were middle of the plate away, and then he busted him inside. He did that to Yelich just now, but got a foul ball.
To first. Freeman boxed it, but recovers and got Yelich by a step. 2 out. With pitch count for Miller approaching 100, the Braves' pen's beginning to work. Brandon Kinniff is up and throwing. And 2 are out in the inning.
Really sharply hit ball this time at Freeman, who made sure it didn't get through him. He is really solid over there. We all love watching Freddie hit, but he is such an asset at first base too. Third inning's the inning he left them loaded. Thought that was low, but I think a lot of it had to do with the way Brzezinski caught it.
One more of those will be what the doctor ordered. 2-2.
Yeah, he did.
Right there. And Stanton couldn't pull the trigger. Shelby Miller strikes out Giancarlo Stanton for a second time, and we're through 5 scoreless innings in the series finale at Marlins Park.
Not really a method to the madness, but just as long as we can create, an identity, and the identity is going to get built this first month. And, what's going to happen? It's, you truly can't work on an identity. It just happens.
Talked to Johnny Gomes earlier today, and he told me that identity, what he's seen so far, guys, is how aggressive this team has been on the base path. Hey, what better place to see that than top of the order right now?
Yeah, and a scoreless game, too. And I think the players would also say sometimes that aggressiveness isn't going to work. It didn't work for Callaspo, but they are going to applaud the effort. Try to stretch a single into a double.
Well, the same thing could be said about Markakis getting doubled up. He was already on the third base side of second. Even if the ball, if Stanton doesn't catch the ball, he's going to score easily. So he didn't need to be all the way around second base pending the outcome of that play. But that's the way they're going to play, and I like it. I applaud it, and sometimes you're going to run into some mistakes.
Or in the case of Stanton, a fantastic play to center, and Ozuna is going to track it down easily, and he's got it for the first out. Peterson 0 for 3 tonight. It's tough to come by for both clubs. The power fastballs tonight, just 7 total hits.
Yeah, but some rockets have been hit all over the place from both sides. The ball that Maben hit, I think it was Maben, yeah, in the second inning, that Echeverria wasn't sure if he caught it.
Good cut by Simmons in foul back. 0-1. To right center. Ozuna's got that one easily. 2 down. It's an important start for the Marlins, as you mentioned. All the bullpen work they had to turn in after Matt Latos went 2/3. Kohler's holding up his end of the bargain. He's giving them exactly what they hoped.
And as per usual, no run support. If that's still Kenneth in the Braves bullpen, it looks like he will come in because he's still working hard.
Five innings, 4 strikeouts for Shelby Miller. 33 pitch third inning. Made things a little tougher. 2 balls and a strike. Caught a corner. Markakis was a step toward first.
Let's take a look at our PNC pitching performance. It shows it was low. Nick was headed to first, and he should have been on first.
Popped up. Prado and Echeverria. The Marlins shortstop is there to make the play, and the Braves are out in order in the top of the 6th. Will it be Miller or Kenneth? We'll find out in the scoreless bottom of the 6th.
your local Ford dealer. And the Georgia Lottery.
No score, bottom 6. The Braves battery happy with the way Shelby Miller's first Braves outing went tonight. 97 pitches over 5 shutouts, 4 hit innings for Shelby Miller.
Yeah, he did a great job with all the foul balls and foul tips that they made him work to earn those outs. And here's a guy that really kind of came out of nowhere, really impressed Roger and Freddie this spring. And when the trade was made, it's in Kimbrel West. It's pronounced Kenneth. Brandon was summoned. Pitched a good inning in game 1, or excuse me, last night.
It was one of the underappreciated stories of the ball game, I thought. All the Braves offense, 12 runs last night. 3 of the Braves' 4 rookie pitchers got to work in a game with a big lead, so they got their feet wet. Now some of those rookies might be tested in a scoreless tie game tonight.
Walked the first batter he saw, which was Giancarlo Stanton, and then he got 3 straight outs, including his first big league strikeout. He's a great story. Spent 3 years in the independent league, and he said he was just about ready to hang it up when the Braves called and purchased him and sent him to Lynchburg. Started at Lynchburg last year, went to Double-A, pitched real well there. Denny Llewellyn, the pitching coach for Mississippi, helped him out, did a great job. And here he is in the big leagues now.
The right side, Freeman's got it. He'll sprint to the bag. 2 outs. So Brandon Kinniff off to a good start tonight. He's gotten the first 2, and Jen has more.
Well, Chip, you know it felt good to get that first one under his belt. He was still shaking after the game when we talked to him last night. Talked to him today. He said, yeah, it was kind of crazy, especially. And I said, what about any nerves? He said, well, you get up there, you're facing Stanton. Definitely. Yeah, it was crazy. But he made it through it, gave himself a couple deep breaths, calmed himself down, and let it be noted, little side note, remember, he was drafted in 2010 by the Marlins. They released him after only 18 appearances. So he said he definitely did take a little bit of pleasure in making his first appearance here.
Off to a good start and has the first 2 outs here in the 6th. Marcelo's into the batter. He's hit it in the air twice. Gotta respect Ozuna's power. He cracked 23 homers last year. As you mentioned, breaking balls have given him trouble in this series.
Good one there, from 93 to 81. Not only was it an off-speed pitch, but a breaking ball. As we go along here and get deeper into the ball game, if one swing of the bat is going to be the difference, the advantage is to the home team because they've got more power in their lineup than do the Braves.
To second, and Kinniff got 3 ground ball outs to end the Marlins' 6th inning. Freeman, Przinsky, Gomes coming up. Still no score.
Fox Sports celebrates 50 years of the Atlanta Braves.
Joe and Chip with you from Miami. We head to the 7th. Kohler 87 pitches. Tough part of the order for him. 4, 5, and 6 on the lineup card for Atlanta. It starts with Freddie Freeman. Hit that monstrous fly ball to right that Stanton speared and turned into a double play a couple of innings ago.
Well, Kohler's right at the 90 pitch mark. So for a guy who did not pitch anywhere close to this, well, anywhere near this, what we're seeing tonight in spring training, it'd be interesting to see if he's still got something in the tank or if he's losing a little bit.
You mentioned the lack of run support for Kohler. This is perfectly in line with what happened to him last year. 6 of his 32 starts last year, he went 6 or more innings and gave up no runs, no earned runs. He's done that again in his season debut tonight. And Freeman's got himself a hit. That's a well-deserved knock. And leadoff man aboard for the Braves here in the 7th.
Boy, no kidding. That's 3 ropes he's hit tonight and only 1 hit.
He's got an 8-game hitting streak against Miami. With that single to right, see if the Braves can move him along and get him in. A.J. Przinsky up there.
Speaking of A.J., the Marlins' A.J. Ramos is now loosening up in their pen.
High fly ball deep right. Stanton going back. He's thwarting track. That ball is gone. A.J. Przinsky has hit the first homer of the year for the Braves, and Atlanta has jumped in front.
Like I said, long ball advantage, home team. Glad A.J. didn't hear that.
I'm going to do it once for you, A.J. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Fastball that tailed back over the middle of the plate. He knew it. So did Stanton. Into the bullpen.
How many of you in Braves country had A.J. Przinsky as the man to hit the first homer of the year for Atlanta? It's a big one. It could prove to be the decisive blow in the game. It chases Tom Kohler, who pitched great but got no offense. 2-0 Atlanta.
Only 8-in-1 all-purpose lifter, carrier, and mover that lightens every load.
Well, the Braves finally broke through. A.J. Przinsky with a first pitch 2-run homer to right has given the Braves a 2-0 lead. Now Atlanta hopes for more against A.J. Ramos. Ramos struck out a pair of Braves on opening day in his inning of work. He's always been tough against Atlanta's offense. Defeated 7-0 in relief last year. To right. And at the line, Stanton is there to make the play. There's out number one.
A.J. Przinsky is not the youngest guy on the team by any means, but he knows his game. And look, open stance. They play him to pull. He's trying to pull. He wants to pull. He's inviting you to try to pitch him somewhere other than inside. But if you throw anything middle of the plate in, I don't care how old he is, he can drop the barrel on you.
So Kohler surrenders 2 runs and trails in the game. For Alberto Callaspo's got a 2-hit night. To center. Playable for Ozuna, who's got it. Crowd tonight 16,127. 16127. Braves have kept him quiet all 3 days. Nathan stands in. He's 0 for 2. He reaches. Kelly Johnson will pinch it for Brandon Kinniff.
He right now is a pitcher of record.
Still live at 0-2. Braves will travel back to Atlanta tonight. Get settled at home on Thursday and then get back after it Friday night with the Mets. 7:35 first pitch against New York. 7:10 start on Saturday. 1:35 on Sunday. Then we'll take another look at the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll more than likely see a rematch of Miller and Kohler at the beginning of that series. Good cut. Trying to guard the plate, trying to put the ball in play, and the guy fires 93.5 on you, and you still fight it off. That was a good swing.
Maven down on strikes. Ramos restores order after A.J. Przinsky breaks the tie. A 2-run homer to right puts Atlanta up 2 as we head to the stretch. off-speed again tonight, trying to sweep away Miami. As we take a look at tonight's Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
And this was dropping the lumber on that two-seam fastball that tailed back over the middle of the plate. A.J. Brzezinski, first homer of the year for Atlanta.
Seven, 8, 9 on the lineup card for the Marlins now. Echeverria, Mathis, and then a pinch hitter. Guess is it'll be Ichiro, who's already grabbed the bat and is stretching out on the Marlins bench. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Echeverria, born in Cuba, he's 25 years old. First got to the big leagues August 4th, 2012 with the Jays.
He's a good player. He's not going to be one of those guys that you say, well, you know what, when he fills out a little bit, gets a little stronger, he's going to hit more home runs. He doesn't need to hit more home runs. You know, if he hit 5 a season, that would be just fine with the Marlins because of the defense he plays. What did he hit last year? One.
But okay. 10 triples.
10 triples. I think he was definitely, I think 20 doubles. For him, this park is perfect for the gaps.
He hits this one in the air to right. Markakis had it played perfectly near the line. He's got room. He gets some help and makes the play. Kenneth gets Echeverria for the first out. Steal of the week is back, as we told you. It's available tonight only, and we honor Henry Aaron's 715th homer on this date in 1974. Field reserve seats for the April 13th, 14th, and 15th games against these Marlins are $19, a savings of 44%. Go to Braves.com/steal and reserve your seats now. Mathis has struck out and walked.
He is mixing his pitches well. That little breaking ball, it's not a big sharp breaker, but it's enough of an off speed off his 93 fastball. Very effective, especially to the right-handers.
Luis Avilan in the Braves bullpen with Ichiro on deck. He got Mathis with a breaking ball. 5 up, 5 down.
He's throwing it right at the middle of the plate. Mathis couldn't pick up the spin. Behind in the count. Chased it. Great job again by Kenneth. Way to go.
Who's in line to win this ball game if the Braves can hang on to a 2-run lead. AJ's Brzezinski's homer, the difference to this point. The Braves will play it lefty-lefty. Luis Avilan versus Ichiro.
Shades of Kerry Lightenberg out of the independent leagues.
Braves bullpen so far in this series and in this ballpark.
Yeah, in this ballpark, in the history of this ballpark, the Braves bullpen with an ERA right at 2, very low batting average against, done an excellent job, and it's set up really nicely tonight. If Luis can retire Ichiro, get out of this inning, sets up for Johnson to work the 8th, early the 9th, head back to Atlanta with a sweep.
It goes without saying that Luis Avilan's first appearance of the year was enormously important for the Braves. He's the man that got the bases loaded double play ball off the bat of Jared Saltalamacchia. So he should be brimming with confidence as he faces Ichiro in the Miami 7th. It lays down a bunt. Avilan slides, fumbles, and can't pick it up. Ichiro with a bunt hit. His first as a Marlin.
This guy might try the same thing. Notice how when he was going to push it to third, he wasn't leaving too soon. He made sure he made a good, accurate bunt with it instead of trying to run down the line before he needed to.
Ichiro now. 2,845 hits in the North American Major Leagues. In 2004, he had an astounding 262 hits and a 372 average with Seattle.
Set an all-time record. And Luis quickly ahead of Gordon. Luis, interesting comments from him after his good work the other night on Monday night, saying that he worked on some things, worked real hard on his confidence and what have you in the winter leagues in Venezuela, and also had a conversation with Eric O'Flaherty, his old teammate, about trying to regain his form. And Eric was very complimentary to him and encouraging him. And he said, anybody can have a rough year. It's going to be up to you to bounce back.
He just broke Gordon's bat, and he'll send this game to the 8th inning.
Well done.
So the Braves bullpen continues its sterling work, and 2 innings left in Miami. Atlanta's up 2-0.
Every day.
Little insurance would be nice for Atlanta, which leads 2-0. An A.J. Pierzynski home run. If you're just joining us, the only scoring in the ball game tonight. Get an inside look at the upcoming season by attending the Braves leadoff luncheon this Monday, April 13th in the 755 Club at Turner Field. Have lunch with your favorite players, coaches, and executives. Space is limited, so visit Braves.com/leadoff now to reserve your seats. This is Brian Morris. He too a terrific run out of the bullpen last year.
Worked an inning last night, gave up a hit. Faces Eric Young.
Pinch hit scoreless Avilan. Yeah, their bullpen did some great work, didn't it? Morris won 8 games, Dunn won 10 games, and A.J. Ramos won 7. That's 25 of their 77 wins from 3 guys in relief. Sharply hit to center, and Ozuna is going to have room for the first out.
Chase was robbed of a hit earlier tonight. 3rd inning. Nice running catch by Yelich. Their outfielder, corner outfielders have had a good night defensively. Chase's old teammate with the El Paso Chihuahuas, Jeff Francoeur, has hit a home run tonight, his first as a Philly.
His first in the big league since June of 2013 when he was with Kansas City. Remember Charlie Manuel telling us a couple years ago how much he liked Jeff Francoeur and how much he thought he'd be able to help him. Maybe that's happening to the Phillies.
Yeah, he really wanted to work with Jeff years ago. Charlie's still a part of their front office.
Little roller is going to be foul. A foul ball. Good hustle, by the way, by Chris Guccione. He was following Jace Peterson right down the first base line. So he had an excellent look at whether that ball was fair or foul for Morris.
Falling in line right behind the catcher. Guccione right there to see that it was in foul territory when Morris picked it up.
Line drive to left for Peterson. The more you see him, the more you like him.
Well, the more you see these Braves hitters, the more you like their approach too. 2-2 count. Wasn't trying to do too much with the pitch.
Let's see if he does some running here. With Andrelton up there. The shortstop 0 for 3. Three lefty hitters follow Andrelton. Simmons has Mike Dunn up for the Miami relief corps. Johnson was terrific on opening day.
One of the things that makes Jeff Mathis a valuable part of any ball club is their backup catchers. He is a good catch and throw guy. So if Peterson does run here, he's going to need to get a good jump.
He's got a good lead. Not going. A ball, 1 strike. Now he's going. Bouncing ball up the middle. Gordon was covering. All he had to do was catch it, step on the bag, and make the throw. And that ends the Atlanta 8th. Tough break for Andrelton Simmons. Gordon was in the right place at the right time to end the inning. AT&T U-verse trivia question. And this is a tough one. Of the last 10 years, Shelby Miller's one of 2 National League pitchers to win 15 or more games in his rookie season. Can you name the other one?
I'm going to stick with Lincecum, but somehow Roy Oswalt entered my head, but I think he dates back before 04.
Before 04?
So I want to stick with Lincecum.
Stick with Lincecum. I'm going to say Josh Beckett.
Oh, old Marlin.
Old Marlin. Let's see if we're right. Not. Wade Miley, 2 short years ago, won 16 games with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Not on my radar.
So the truck finally in the win column. As the Braves, big right-hander Jim Johnson keeps pounding the strike zone. And he just struck out Christian Yelich on 3 pitches.
He made him look bad.
Freddie Gonzalez didn't obviously know how he was going to set up his bullpen on opening day with the trade of Greg Kimbrell until he got to the ballpark. And he made up his mind that he said Jim Johnson was going to be the setup guy for Jason Grilli because of Jim's ability to work multiple innings. That's exactly what happened on opening day. He is pitching like a man who saved 50 games in back-to-back years in his first 2 appearances as a Brave. Strike after strike after strike.
His best pitch when he was saving all those games, back-to-back 50-win seasons, was a hard sinker. Now he's throwing 95 right now with a 4-seamer, just saying, come and get it. But if that sinker evolves back into what it was with the help of, there it is. That is nasty.
Saw how AJ tried to catch that ball.
Right. Tried to pancake it. Watch this ball go down.
One and 2 for Giancarlo Stanton. A couple of strikeouts for him tonight. And another one. Johnson blew him away. Stanton has struck out 5 times in the series.
mercy at the knees. Remember, he struck out looking on a pitch like that last time up, so he wasn't going to let that happen again and look bad again.
So Stanton and Morse, who's in the box now, have struck out 10 times in the first 3 games against Atlanta.
There's the sinker, 96.
Game started with Shelby Miller pouring over 94 and 95 mile-an-hour fastballs over his 5 shutout innings. Brandon Kinniff an inning and 2/3 scoreless. Avilan 1/3 of an inning, and now Johnson. And Morse with a rope to right center with 2 outs.
That one was up. That one was above the belt, and he just leveled off on it.
Yep, Jim knew it. Miami's going to go to the bench. Pinch run for Morse. Don Kelly.
I like Don Kelly. I liked him when he was with Detroit. Good versatile player.
To third. Big hop. Callaspo's got it. And Johnson with a scoreless 8th inning. Braves head to the 9th inning. Markakis, Freeman, and A.J. Przinsky try to extend a 2-run lead. Going back. He's thwarting track. The ball is gone. A.J. Przinsky has hit the first homer of the year for the Braves. I'm going to do it once for you, A.J. You can put it on the board. Yes. Had to do it. Welcome to Atlanta, A.J. Przinsky. And the Braves, my friends, are 3 outs away after trading away Gaddis, Hayward, Upton, and Kimball for becoming the first 3-0 team in the major leagues. Changes for Miami. Don Kelly will stay in the game for Michael Morse at first base. Former Brave Mike Dunn is on to pitch with 3 lefties in order coming up in the Atlanta ninth.
Dunn worked a perfect inning Monday night in the Braves 2-1 victory, and he faced Peterson, Markakis, and Freeman, and struck all 3 of them out.
They go for 2 with a walk in the game tonight. 0-1. Well, if you haven't made your plans to join us this weekend, hope this start in Miami will encourage you to come to the ballpark.
Yeah, don't miss out.
To center. Well hit, but playable. Ozuna's got it. And there's out number one. Opening day is Friday night. First pitch at 7:35. We'll have a special 2-hour Braves live for you beginning at 5:30 Eastern Time. Have a wonderful pregame ceremony celebrating 50 years of baseball in Atlanta. The ceremony will start at 7. Get to the ballpark early. You're encouraged to be in your seats at Turner Field no later than 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Tickets are going quickly. Get them online at Braves.com tonight.
Mets trailing 2-1 tonight at Washington in the 6th.
That was a good matchup. That was DeGrom and Jordan Zimmerman, Rookie of the Year, facing the man who threw a no-hitter in the last regular season game for Washington.
DeGrom gave up a 2-run homer to Ryan Zimmerman. Braves will miss both DeGrom and
Matt Harvey. Cut by Freddie. Picked up a hit last time and scored ahead of the Brzezinski homer. There's Jason Grilli readying himself for the bottom of the ninth.
Freddie's got a good swing working. He's locked in. 3 hard hit balls tonight, only 1 hit to show for it. It was his drive that Stanton made the great diving catch on. He was back in the 4th.
To the left side. Yelich on the run. Prado's there too, and Yelich and Prado collide near the wall. Is everybody all right?
Yeah, I thought Yelich caught it at first, but I guess he overran it. Bounced into the seats.
Look how far Prado had to go to even have a chance.
Oh, right off the edge of his glove. Called Martin off, but Martin didn't know where to go to get out of the way.
Yeah, no collision either. Just a little bump by Yelich as he slid to a stop. Another one into the seats. Out of play for Freeman. Braves will see the Marlins April 13th, 14th, and 15th in Atlanta. Back here in mid-May. 15th, 16th, and 17th.
It's kind of odd to come back that quickly.
The Marlins will also be our last road stop in September.
I'm really glad that hit the bat and not his hand.
One ball, 2 strikes for Freddie Freeman. And Dunn got him swinging. Two outs. And here's the hitting hero tonight, A.J. Brzezinski.
AJ's got a short, compact, powerful swing. Stands very straight. Does a great job and always has of just letting his hands do the work.
This guy's hit 10 or more homers 9 separate times in the big leagues, and this is the first time in 14 years that he didn't start on opening day. This guy's had a terrific career for 1,800 big league games. And he just got hit. AJ with a long look into the Atlanta dugout.
Right on the number. Trying to watch the spin on that ball. I thought when he hit live action, I thought it was fastball, but I'm not sure that it was. AJ wanted to know what was going on there.
So the inning's still alive. Johnny Gomes bats. And up and away, 1-0. Johnny's first start tonight, he had a second inning hit.
One of the reasons the Braves signed Johnny Gomes was because of his ability to hit lefties. Really good numbers against them in his splits over the last couple of years.
There's a strike, 2-1. The other thing about this series in Miami, excluding starting pitchers, the only guys who haven't gotten in a game are Phil Gosselin and Andrew McCurahan. Freddie's used his whole roster virtually.
That's great.
So maybe the Butterflies ought to be by the boards by the time we get home Friday night. Look out. Yanked foul, 2-2. Line drive center field. Ozuna is going to slide, and he's going to catch that one. He had some trouble on opening day with a very similar play, but a terrific sliding catch, Rob Gomes.
We talked about their outfield all leading up to this series, and they've all made good plays tonight, but we may have an appeal here.
So Freddie Gonzalez came out immediately and asked for a review, it appears, as Ozuna came to a sliding stop, and that's the case. We will get a review of the play.
Brzezinski talking to Dunn as they walk by each other also. Looks like a catch to me. Wow, it's like a little toolbox now.
3 review outcomes confirmed, which means clear and convincing evidence that the call on the field was correct. The call stands because of no clear and convincing evidence to confirm or overturn, or it's overturned via clear and convincing evidence. I'm with you. I think he caught it.
I bet you could start your car. I bet if you had a dead battery, you could use that little box to start your car too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's got it. He didn't trap it. His glove hit the ground and kind of bent over. But yeah, he caught it.
Yep, call will stand. It was the correct call. Ozuna with a nice play to Rob Gomes. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. Braves looking for a Miami sweep.
You know about me is I'm a good listener. That's why I'm looking directly into this camera. I love music, and of course I enjoy a good Italian restaurant.
He also enjoys closing out Major League Baseball games. And boy, they do a fantastic job here on Monday afternoon.
Struck out 2 of the 3 guys he faced. And that was Stanton, Morse, and then he got Prado to line out to earn his first save as an Atlanta Brave. Numbers last year with Pittsburgh and then the Angels. And not a spot he expected to be in until the day before opening day this year when the trade was made and came to the ballpark, find out that he's now the closer for the Braves.
And he's a pro's pro, man. He's excitable. He's fun to watch. Let's see how he fares with Ozuna, Echeverria, and Mathis coming up for Miami. And quick strike. Jen, he is a live wire, is he not?
I think Braves fans are really going to like this guy. And it's not just because of his likable nickname, you know, grilled cheese and all that. But, you know, he said he came here to turn the ball over, get it to Kimbrel, but that's a business of baseball. And he said being a middle reliever really prepares you for these closer situations. He pointed to the situation Luis Avilan was in on opening day when he had to come in with the bases loaded and deuce the ground ball double play. And he said it's situations like that that can make anyone a good closer. It's just about making your pitch.
He's made 2 good ones to Ozuna here in the 9th. And a pop fly on a play foul.
Tried to waste a pitch upstairs, 0-2. He still chased it, still got a piece of it. As we've said this whole series, and especially tonight, he will chase breaking stuff.
So the Braves dugout out of play, foul.
But still 95. Jim Johnson, a great outing, 2 strikeouts.
Foul. You can tell that Jason's a veteran player. After the opening day save, with all the emotion and the mental anguish the Braves went through with the blockbuster trade, I asked Jason after the game, "Well, you got to be going to South Beach. You got to be fired up, ready to go to celebrate your first save as a Brave." He said, "I'm 38 years old, man. I'm going to bed. I'm tired." And who could blame him? 0-2. He got him. There's the breaking ball. Good call, Joe. Really strikes out Ozuna. 1 away in the 9th.
It's all of that gas that led up to it, though. Good 95 fastballs up in the zone, and then he had to be ready for it again. Couldn't adjust.
There's the first man down in the 9th. Echeverria, the batter, 0 for 3, 0 for 9 in the series. After a rough spring at the plate as well for the Marlins. And he's strike 1 called.
It's like Jason is saying, you know what? You can't tie this game up with one swing right here. There's nobody on base. The best you can do is make it 2-1. And knowing that your Echeverria is not a home run threat, going right after it.
Fouled away. I think it's safe to say, with 2 outs to get in this game, neither one of these clubs expected to have these kinds of starts. Braves are 2 outs away from being 3-0. The Marlins, a season of such promise, such expectation are that close to being 0-3.
I'm not so sure about that, Chip. Here's why.
Ground ball right side. Freeman backhands. Perfect feed to Grilli for the second out.
I know for a fact that the Miami Marlins didn't expect to be handled like this. But I'm not so sure the Braves didn't think they wouldn't come in here and sweep. That's just the attitude these guys are carrying around right now. The confidence they have, even before the first game. They had a real, I want to call it a swagger. They hadn't played a game yet. But the fact that they had lost their closer made no difference to them. It altered everything I was about to say in our opening comments about, what is the team going to do now? All their confidence, they sold me that they were ready to play and ready to get after it.
Well, they've shown that, that's for sure. Donovan Solano is the final hope for the Fish.
And the PNC pitching performance, we've got it up. You can watch location on all these pitches, and he starts in with a breaking ball.
Popped up into the stands, out of play to the right side. And now the Braves are a strike away from their first 3-0 start since 2007. All strikes from Grilli, 12 pitches.
How about that?
First miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But you Braves fans have got to appreciate what they've come in here and done up and down the lineup, and certainly with the pitching staff and the bullpen, what they've been able to accomplish. It's been very, very impressive.
Heart and hustle, first 3 games. And now Grilli readies for the 1-2. Ground ball to short. Simmons gives ground, flips to first, and the Braves have swept the Marlins. 2-0 is your final score in Miami. A.J. Pierzynski with a 2-run homer. Jason Grilli with the save, and Brandon Kinniff picks up the win in relief. And Braves country, we're coming home 3-0 for a date opening night with the Mets on Friday.
I didn't see it coming. I'm going to revel in this all the way home, and congratulations to Mr. Kinniff, his first big league win.
So Atlanta will have a very happy flight back home. And coming up after our game, stay with us for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. We'll hear from Freddie Gonzalez along with comments from the Braves clubhouse. Joe and I will join the crew to break down all the action on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. The Braves are the first team in the big leagues to go 3-0 this year. They shut out Miami by 2 tonight.